When We Were Very Young. Children's Book of Poetry and Verses by A. Milne. Just before we begin. Foreword by the author. At one time, but I've changed my mind now, I thought I was going to write a little note at the top of each of these poems, in the manner of Mr. William Wordsworth, who liked to tell his readers where he was staying, and which of his friends he was walking with, and what he was thinking about when the idea of writing his poem came to him. You'll find some lines about a swan here, if you get as far as that. And I should have explained to you in the note that Christopher Robin, who feeds this swan in the mornings, has given him the name of Pooh. This is a very fine name for a swan, because if you call him and he doesn't come, which is a thing swans are good at, then you can pretend you were just saying Pooh to show how little you wanted him. Well, I should have told you that there are 6 cows who come down to Pooh's lake every afternoon to drink. And of course they say moo as they come. So I thought to myself one fine day, walking with my friend Christopher Robin, moo rhymes with Pooh. Surely there's a bit of poetry to be got out of that. Well then, I began to think about the swan on his lake, and at first I thought how lucky it was that his name was Pooh. And then I didn't think about that anymore. And the poem came quite differently from what I intended. And all I can say for it now is that if it hadn't been for Christopher Robin, I shouldn't have written it, which, indeed, is all I can say for the others. So this is why these verses go about together, because they are all friends of Christopher Robin. And if I left out one because it was not quite like the one before, then I should have to leave out the one before because it was not quite like the next, which would be disappointing for them. Then there is another thing. You may wonder sometimes who's supposed to be saying the verses. Is it the author, that strange but uninteresting person, or is it Christopher Robin, or some other boy, or girl, or nurse, or who? If I had followed Mr. Wordsworth's plan, I could have explained this each time, but as it is, you will have to decide for yourselves. If you are not quite sure, then it is probably Who. I don't know if you have ever met Who, but he is one of those curious children who look 4 on Monday and 8 on Tuesday, and are really 28 on Saturday. And you never know whether it's the day when he can pronounce his R's. He had a great deal to do with these verses, in fact. You might almost say that this book is entirely the unaided work of Christopher Robin, Who, and Mr. Shepard, who drew the pictures. They have said thank you politely to each other several times, and now they say it to you for taking them into your house. Thank you so much for asking us. We've come. A.A.M.